is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's get Tom in Pittsburgh. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, I want to tell you that listening to you, Steve, and also Larry turned my laptop into a money machine.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing, man. How long have you been listening?
Well, you know what? I lived in Tampa.
Okay.
And I started listening to you back in 2000. That's when I first found you. I've listened ever since.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, listen, man, we really appreciate you being out there.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. And, of course, let's make it a great night. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Create the perfect relationship between you and your body. Treat your body with all your love, honor, gratitude, and respect. When you make it your goal to adore your body and accept yourself completely, you are learning to have the perfect relationship with anyone else you are with. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 119, Nasdaq off 19, S&P's off 12, gold contract up $52, trading at $1,869 an ounce. Silver up 90 cents at $42.47 an ounce. Platinum up $38 at $1,861 an ounce. Copper flat at $4.12 a pound. Light sweet crude down 54 cents at $88.80. Bonds up 19 ticks at 140.04. 140, that's pretty amazing. Dollar index up 77 ticks. You get some strength under the dollar out here, folks. We're at 76.34. Euro down 21 ticks. It's at 138.87. That baby's on the way to 135. We'll go through and bisect and dissect that in a few secs. Yen rather, up 23 ticks, trading out at 77.48. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? We get to 1204.40. You close out at 1185. Can't get into the swing. The bottom of that swing out there was 1209. We did 915 million versus 954. The swing point up there, folks, is at 1230 is 1.2 billion. You couldn't hold price out here. Didn't have any juice. Bottom line, what I suspect we have here is that we're building some cars to get into that swing point. It wants to get up into that swing point. Now, what we did do is this. You got almost into the swing of the 17th. As it went up there, if you remember, the first swing that when we came off the bottom was August 17th. That swing there had 972 million. We still was short on that, 946. My take is, though, it still wants to run into that 1230 S&P, and I'll explain why. It has to do with the NASDAQ, folks. Dow Industrials, what the Dow did is this. Dow gets to 11,477, couldn't hold price. That's going to build some more cars in order to basically at least go charge into this 11,718 area. The composite. Now, let's go over to the composite. This is what you have in the composite. NASDAQ composite out here today, we got into the bottom of the swing, which we got to 25.68. The bottom of that swing out there is 25.57. And we had some juice into it. You know, we got into it with 2 billion shares. That is only 2 billion up there. What that sets up is that it's going to set up another run into that whole area. You know, so this is kind of interesting how this is getting set up right now. When you push into a swing, see, that swing there is an easy swing to take out, no doubt. Meaning the swing I'm talking about is the August 31st swing because you still only had 2 billion shares. Now, this is on the short-term basis because the longer-term basis, you're going into some monster volume on the way down. But but a shorter term, it wants to go after this 26.11. We'll see whether it can overtake it. What we absolutely had out here as we pushed into there today, you pushed into a 1.979 billion, and that swing only has 2 billion shares. If we go over and we take a look at the 3 Qs, what you'll see, kind of the same type of setup. The NDX 100, what we did with the NDX 100, that got to a price point today of 55.16. The bottom of that swing is 54.60. The top of it is 55.74. You had volume of 60 million up there, and we did 58. So it's the same type of setup. Now, what you're going to have here, and this is what's going to be just, let's see. So, yeah, see, this is cool how this is setting up. This is Thursday. We're going to go into Friday. Now, if we stay with the Qs for a second, what you're going to have is this. You push today with 58 million. Pushing back, let's say, on the open tomorrow, well, bottom line is that it's going to need 90 to 100 million to push into lower lows. Friday, just not going to happen, folks. You know, so what you have here, we're still building cars to get into that swing point, and you know, we'll see whether it can basically overtake that swing with volume. Let's go take a look at the gold market. What we did with gold out here today, gold goes up 51 bucks. We did 209,000 contracts, and that is going to be, you know, it's not even close to being enough. What we had is just the first high in gold at 1917. We had 367,000 contracts. We come down on 385. We come down on 440. First leg down, took it down a couple $100. Market goes all the way back up, goes from 1705 up to 1923, makes a higher high, does it with 400,000, comes off that with 300,000. You back up with 200,000. You know, it's good. This move in the gold market, folks, will come overnight. That's the way this is setting up right now. We'll see it overnight. Let's go over to the dollar index. What you have with the dollar out here, you know, what is just absolutely amazing. You know, I was bringing up yesterday that Wall Street Journal yesterday. What you had is how to make money from a dollar going down. Well, bottom line, folks, is that dollar goes up a point yesterday, goes up another point today, up 75 ticks at 76.32. You do 32,000 contracts. This baby is not only it's broken, you know, it's downtrend, period, but it's set to launch over the 77.17 area. The way it's set up right now is that it wants to get into the 80 price point. And let me tell you something, the 80 price point on the dollar is going to put a DX is going to put some heavy ammunition into the market and the S&P as well as the commodity market. Now, what I just did here, folks, is this. I just put up the, if you're watching Tiger TV, if you're not, either way, I just put up the continuous contract in the dollar. And what you have is this, is that, number one, we're back inside the larger range. And that larger range, folks, the bottom of that range was 74.21. So you're back inside that range, number one. What that sets up, you know, is that sets up, yeah, you actually get up all the way to 89, and you're at 76. Now, I'm giving you a longer-term view. Shorter-term view, what it sets up is that you want to go to 81.63. So how we get up to that 81.63 is going to say a huge amount, meaning if we go up there with conviction, you know, this little baby wants to go. When you do bring this back on a much longer-term basis, the lows of the dollar, folks, was March of 2008, and, of course, we're in September of 2011 right now. Big, big difference. Bonds. Let's go over to the bond market. Bond market out here at $1.40. You did 250,000 contracts here today, and what you're going to see, what I expect you're going to see here, it looks to me like the bond market's going to back off. The reason being is that the first high up here, we had 460,000. The second high, we had 400,000. You're trying to push into that with 251. It's going to need a lot of juice. This bond market wants to, you know, back off slightly. Nothing heavy. You know, 132 is game. No, it's 8 points. That's basically a decent number. Some of the high volume stocks we had out here today, let's take a look at them. You had Cisco Systems up 41 cents. We had Micron Technology up 18. You had General Electric down 21. Citigroup was off $1. We had EMC down 36 cents. And if you just heard Ken Shreve, Lululemon, tomorrow is going to be, tomorrow morning, I believe, 9/11, yeah, before the market opens. Lululemon right now is trading out at 57.69. That comes out before the market does open. and that'll be interesting to see. The reason this will be so interesting is that the high flyers, folks, if that can get some juice into them, that could be enough to basically get a few of these high flyers moving, and that'll get the NASDAQ moving. That's the way this market seems to be setting up right now. What you do have with Lululemon is that she came into the $57.90 price point, swing point. Last time we did $4 million, she did $6.6 million. That's saying that Lululemon wants to make an attack on her high once again, which is going to be pretty wild. That high out there is $63. So that's how that is set up at this particular point. Let's go take a look at Big Blue. You get IBM, and right now IBM, we're at the 165.25 area. She couldn't handle higher price. Now, what's going to be how she comes in and handles the 163 area is going to basically talk, walk, and squawk. The reason I'm saying that is that she came down with so much volume, it's going to be hard to break those lows on a Friday. That's the way that is set up at this particular point. We go take a look at 3M, and these large industrials, they've had a tough time. 3M is starting to look a little bit better. The way 3M is setting up right now, she's going sideways. The volume is dying down somewhat. The first acceleration down was pretty intense. This one here today, it's not bad because she was coming into 8.5 million and she only did 4.6 million. We go take a look at Microsoft, and what was interesting is that Microsoft hasn't moved in a long time, but Microsoft is not a bad little setup. It's a setup that it's been in a consolidation for quite a while. The top of that consolidation is the 28 area. The bottom is the 23. And it looks to me like she may hold there for a bit. Now, let's go over to Goldman Sachs. The reason we want to go to Goldman is this. The Goldman today was down 3.55. She is going to go after the lows once again. You're at 104.79. You're into the low bar of the 23rd of August. This is a big one, folks, and this is why. The way Goldman is set up on a longer-term basis is that she's already back at the April 2009 level. Now, the first time she came into that, she came into it for the month of August with 230 million shares versus 639. That is the place that is your benchmark for the large indices, for the S&P, for the Dow, for the NASDAQ. The 103.16, number one, wants to get tested again. Number two, which is more important, though, is this, is that if the 103 breaks, let me tell you something, Goldman can get into $72. And if you see it get into $72 and the volume is still contracting, that's going to be the buy. And the reason we're going to spend a lot of time on these financials in the next week, week and a half. The reason being is that the financials very well may be telling us, number one, where we're going, number two, how we're going to get out of here. We're going to be right back.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to